All right, Nick's here.
Hello.
Told you, I promised the listeners you'd be on. This is going to be a quick kind of, well, quickish. We'll see.
The evil is gone. The evil is gone from
The
here.
evil is gone from here. Go on, move. Oh my God, I love him so much. Yes, in 2025, I, Alex Withrow, watched Michael Myers' John Carpenter's Halloween once a week for the entire year. And this is going to be, Nick, kind of just us talking about the initial insanity behind the challenge and then how it worked out for me. But I can report up top that, there are 52 weeks in a year. I watched it 53 times because my first watch was on January 4th, 2025. My final watch was on December 31st, 2025. And it was great. I mean, there's no like big thing to report because I just had a blast the whole time, with the exception of right after we recorded our episode on it. When we recorded our WAYW New Hollywood Film Project on Halloween, I prepped for that. I crammed for it. And then that was in July. And then I kind of crashed out. And I was like,
wow, I didn't know
what do I do now? Like I prepped for it, but that only lasted for like 2 or 3 weeks. I like right after that, I traveled to Europe. So I'm, having to watch it on my phone in Europe twice. And then I kind of got over that and I'm like, no, just push through. And I had a blast. I learned so much because it wasn't just sitting there and watching it, which I did, but I also watched a sequel every week. I at least one sequel every week as well. Did all the research. So yeah, it was amazing. And now I'm here to talk about it.
I don't even know what I think is more insane. The initial idea or the fact that you followed through with it and
to the bitter end.
To the bitter end. And you have logged in 53 weeks of watching the same movie. I mean, I guess congratulations are in order.
Thank you.
I've never heard of anything like this. I've heard a lot of directors, like these movie fanatic directors, talk about doing some crazy shit. Did this like, I've never heard them do anything like this. Did this come to you from a director that had done this, like, or any sort of like where did this idea even come from?
Oh, that's a good question. No one ever asked me that. Well, people asked why, and I was like, there's no why. I have no idea. I've never really been like a movie challenge person. When my blog became popular in the early 2010s, I noticed that fellow bloggers would do movie challenges, usually related to like, how many can I watch, or blind spots, like how many can I watch that I haven't seen, stuff like that. So I've done that, but yeah, what was it? 2023, I started logging all my movies and I'm like, let me see if I can do that. 2024 was the first time I tried to, I'm like, I'm going to watch at least one movie a day. And then 2025, I went, I don't know, let me just see, like, I'm already doing at least one movie a day. Can I actually watch the same movie at least once a week? And Halloween was the very first movie that jumped into my head for the challenge, the very first one. And I spent about a month, like, just doing overthinking it, like we talk about, adding 10 movies to the list and going, none of these are no, because then and none of them had that sequel franchise value, and I knew that would help me. I knew, and like really diving into every sequel, some of which are not good movies, I knew that would help just carry Halloween through. And I loved Halloween. I was a huge fan of it. I usually watch it once a year around Halloween, and Alamo is really good about playing it, so I have seen it in the theater multiple times. I used to watch it with my mom all the time. So it's not like I was unfamiliar with the movie. So that was my biggest concern. And do I already know this movie well enough that I'm going to get bored by like February, March? But then minus that little speed bump in the summer, something weird happened in like November, December, where it felt like a drug and I couldn't wait to sit down and watch it. And I'm like, sweet, it's Halloween day. And my excitement for it actually grew. And this is true. The year ended, January happened, and I had to rewatch it because I recorded a commentary for it, just a solo commentary about all my findings. And I rewatched it, so that was technically the 54th time. And in my head, I went, what if I just keep it going?
Oh my God.
2026, I watch it. And then I literally put my hands up and took a step back, and I was like, you have to let go. You have to let go. And I did. So no more. 2026 is not Halloween every week. It's just, now the big challenge is, when will I watch it again? Truly, like, I have no idea when, I don't know, like, what I have it. I will know the movie inside and out. I mean, for the rest of my life now. I know the scene, like the order of the scenes. I know the dialogue. So yeah, just a truly, truly great time that I don't know why it popped into my head. It was one of the most, it was a challenging thing, but not like, I didn't want to go, I'm going to watch it every day. That is nuts. That's crazy. I'll start with like some things that I learned. What I learned is that a good movie does get better with multiple viewings, even if you watch it a crazy amount. Like, I didn't get sick of it watching it 53 times in a year. I didn't. I got extremely familiar with it, but I never got bored with it. And so that was a kind of a cool lesson to learn.
That was my biggest concern when you were embarking on this challenge. I was like, man, I really hope like that by the end of this, you just have like a relationship to the movie where you're like, I can't ever watch it again. Like, I've done it. Like,
yeah, not that.
Like, it would be so funny if that was the case. You would be talking to somebody and then they'd be talking about Halloween and you would just go like, yeah, I can't with that. And then they'll be like, what do you mean you can't with Halloween? You're like, you don't understand, bro. I watched that movie every week for a year. And
from now on, whenever it's mentioned, I'm gonna go, my old friend Halloween. They'll be like, have you seen any of the sequels? And I'll say, I've seen part 6 7 times. Because there's 2 versions of it, and I hate that movie. Not hate. I mean, I grew to kind of like them all. But yeah, now I get to talk kind of endlessly about Halloween. Oh, another big thing. Didn't know if we were gonna do it. Waited until December, but you and I deciding to go to the film locations for Halloween.
That was so cool.
Was a highlight of the year. It was something where I'm like, I don't know. Like, we have to weave it into the trip. It was the first thing we did that weekend I came out there. And it just would have been a mistake to not do that. It was so cool to see them, especially the Pasadena locations, which really seemed untouched. It was so cool.
It was a very, very cool thing. I remember even just like seeing it and seeing where it was placed in Pasadena, because they moved that whole entire freaking house that you were telling me. Like, they actually like uprooted it. And
the Michael Myers house. Yep, they did.
And then where they put it, like with the train tracks right there, I was like, where the hell could this possibly be? And then you're like, here it is. And I was like, oh my God, I can see it. It's not in a neighborhood per se that looks like how it does in the movie. And then when we went to the other one, which was the one where you get the cross shots from where Laurie's looking at the house.
Yeah.
We were doing like the sight lines. Because, so much had changed. Like, there was like, they did an add-on to the house. And so you had to kind of like picture an idea of like that part not being there. But I even remember from like where the camera was set up, I was like, I can see this angle. I can absolutely see this exact direct shot, the way it's kind of tilted off to the side a little bit. Like, I tried to angle my phone to capture it. And I was like, oh, this is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I got a shot of you like when he's standing behind the tree and staring at Annie walking in. Then you got one of me in Pasadena going behind the bush, which is just awesome. But yeah, the Pasadena locations, like in the movie, were there during the day. It's very wide shots. You see the grass, you see the trees, you see the fields. Though the babysitting jobs, when Laurie's babysitting and Annie's babysitting, that's all at night, and that is deep in the heart of Hollywood, which is really, really interesting. I even say on the commentary, we're only 4 blocks from the Chateau Marmont. Yeah. And if you look down the street, you see like bustling Sunset Boulevard. So they never show that side of the street in the movie. They're really careful to not show it. And yeah, I think those houses have probably intentionally gone through some renovations because they don't want fans around.
I mean, especially the movie like that.
And shit.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's one thing when you go to like the John Cassavetes house that was for a woman under the influence, and it's sort of like, I don't know. I don't really think they're going to get too much.
Too many people. But they had that huge fence up now, which was kind of a bummer because we were like, damn it.
And it doesn't even, you can sort of see like when you peek through it, but it also looks dilapidated. It doesn't look like there's anyone.
It does, actually. That is a house that hasn't been taken care of. John Cassavetes' Woman Under the Influence house. What else did I learn? Continuity errors. A lot of people, we like to poke fun at. There's a coffee cup there. There's a boom mic and stuff. There are some very glaring ones in the movie, shadows of camera boxes, stuff like that. But I've learned that even though that's in a movie, it just doesn't matter. And
Uh-huh.
most interestingly, on my 53rd watch of the year, I spotted a brand new continuity error. When
Wow.
they drop Linda off at her house and she, see you later, and she's going, and then Annie and Lori start to walk right before they spot him in the bush. You can see crew members standing on Linda's porch, like doing this, and they duck really quick. I had never spotted that before, so it's just hilarious. You can watch a movie that many times and not catch this stuff, and you're like, what the hell? There's people. Oh, that's hilarious. I just never noticed. I don't know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
53rd watch, the final one.
Exactly. What else did I learn? Passion for making a film can take you only so far, but if you know how to spend money correctly, you can make an iconic film. For example, they had $300,000 to make this movie. That's very little in 1978. That's like pennies today. But half of that was used for the camera package. So they made it anamorphic and spent 50% of their budget making the footage look really good. So it adds this timeless nature of it. Basically, translation, the movie looks a lot more expensive than it is. And that is one of the reasons why lunatics like me can watch it once a week for a year. Because it looks great. It's perfectly made, basically. Perfectly.
I mean, you honestly, like, it does have that timeless feel to it. Like, even though, like, you got some of, like, I don't even know anymore. Like, the fashions are, it's fashion, I feel like in so many ways has become this thing where when we were younger, fashion made a movie feel dated.
Yeah.
And now I feel like there's so many different like runs of fashion that we've had. And I think people have an appreciation for fashion to where when they see a movie from the 70s, they don't make fun of it like how our generation did. Like,
that's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's like things like people will take that like, oh, wow, look at those bell bottoms. Those are awesome. And because you could walk down the street and see someone wearing those exact same ones now.
Absolutely.
And I always thought that that's kind of a cool thing because I thought that about Serpico. I had my whole entire issue that I had with Serpico was like, I feel like these fashions are really going to throw me. And I was like, I feel like I'm walking outside. Even if you I'm thinking of John Cassavetes and thinking of something like The Killing of the Chinese Bookie, which is a movie that does not look all that great because they were just running and gunning. And like the lighting is not good, especially like in that scene where he's in the house trying to kill the guy. Like there's a lot of sloppy looking things about that. And then you look at Halloween and there's none of it. And
right.
And I have to kind of even wonder how much what the budget was on both of those movies, because at that point, John Cassavetes at least had a name to himself. He had already had a few movies under his belt. And to think that John Carpenter was a nobody at the time, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
And he yet has made a movie that has stood the test of time. And I think a big part of the reason why it does is because of what you're exactly saying is the look. You could watch that movie, and even from fashions, but even just from a cinematography point of view, that movie does not feel like a movie old. It doesn't feel like an old movie.
Not at all. Not at all. These are all great points because Chinese Bookie, I mean, he released that in 76 and then released the director's cut the same year as Halloween 78.
Yeah.
And yeah, Cassavetes is someone who's like, we just need to get some of my friends together. We have a loose idea of a story and just fucking point the camera there and go.
Yeah.
Go, get a boom mic there and just go. And Carpenter is like, no, we're going to be really patient, plan out these shots. All the cinematography is very controlled. You don't get even the handheld shots. They're very deliberately handheld. Whereas Cassavetes is like, we don't need a track, all handheld. Who cares? And the
focus?
lighting is very focus. Lighting, who cares? Like, so the lighting at Halloween is so precise. But then, moreover than anything, and this is probably maybe the most obvious thing I can say about my year of Halloween, but certainly my most direct. John Carpenter's music is the most iconic thing about the movie.
Yeah.
It's more famous than the movie itself. The fact that he had the foresight to do it himself and not pay himself a lot, but retain the rights to that I believe a variation is used in every single Halloween sequel, if not outright just used. Like David Gordon
Oh, yeah.
Green brought him back to score those movies. So he'll be able to bank on that for the rest of his life. And then after he's gone, his estate will be able to bank on that for the rest of their lives. And that's just a fact. That music will live forever. It'll just always be known and always be like, that's a horror movie. That's where that music belongs.
Dude, I'll never forget I don't know what, it had to be Oscar weekend. I think it had to be Oscar weekend when you came out. And so you were like 3 months into this and you got your phone and you're like, dude, check out this. And you're telling me about like the time signature of this. You're like, this is a time signature that's just not used a lot, and he's fucking using this.
5/4, yeah.
Yeah. And
1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2. Yep.
And you're showing me like it was like a jazz song or was some sort of like
oh god, what the it's like Take That or Take 5. They dance to it in Silver Linings Playbook when they're doing like the cool move and then they get the applause. I forget exactly what it's called, but yeah, famous. Yeah, very famous. But it's a very unique time signature for a song.
And you're like, that's the exact same time signature. Listen, man, you can hear it.
You can hear it. And I think that, I'm serious, I think that adds to why the score is so weird, because not all the music in the movie, a lot of the music is done in the normal 4/4 register where you're counting, those 4 beats, but not that theme. And to see him in the making of just describe it, he's like, yeah, my dad taught me to play music on the bongo drum. So 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3, and he just does it so easily. And you're like, man, this guy is also a musical genius, and in addition to being a director.
Did you ever listen to his him and his son? They have like these 2 albums, and they're honestly really great to listen to.
In the mid 2010s, he was on Bret Easton Ellis's podcast just talking about that, just talking about his music with his son. And I listened to him then, but I haven't since. But yeah, I mean, this is like the deep synth score. Like a lot of my favorite bands they idolize John Carpenter. M83 has talked a lot about John Carpenter's music. Yeah, so there's absolutely a parallel between.
Yeah, I often listen to that those have become honestly like good LA night driving soundtracks.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, especially the first album. The second album is not, I don't think, as strong as the first one, but you know what? You keep talking. Let me find these over there, because in case people are listening, we should
give them a shout out. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in addition to watching Halloween once a week, I also did dedicate every week to a sequel, and I went in order that they were released. So Halloween, in January, I just watched Halloween. In February, it was Halloween, then Halloween 2 every week. March, Halloween, then Halloween 3, on and on and on, all the way through Halloween Ends, released in 2022, which I watched in December. I wasn't always looking forward to those necessarily, because some of these sequels are not very good, but I would bully myself into watching them and being like, what were they going for? What was the intention here? All the original franchises, it's all on a great 4K set, so I bought all of them, watched all the special features, and it's just kind of amusing to listen to, the makers be like, yeah, we didn't really have it with this one. It kind of went out the window. We kind of lost sight of what the thing is, but I'll go through the 4 timelines really quickly. Did you find the albums?
I'm looking, Lost Themes.
Lost Themes, okay.
Lost Themes.
Well, I wish he would still direct. I mean, he released a statement, I think a few years ago, or maybe a few months ago, saying he would still direct if he had control over the movies, but he doesn't. So, but I'm like, what's going on out here? Like, if John Carpenter wants to direct, can no one give him, I don't know, $4 to $5 million to go make something like small and cool, or maybe, and score it with his son and his music? I don't know. I would love that.
And the cinematographer, Dean
Cundy.
Cundy, yeah. He, I was telling you, I saw them both had that Q&A at the Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
And they both seem like they definitely, he looks he is hilarious. John Carpenter looks like the old guy, the villain in Big Trouble in Little China before he takes human form.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true. The hair and everything.
Yeah, it's high. But he's still like with it. He's sharp. He's cracking jokes. Dean Kundi, he's the one that was basically like telling all the stories.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like from an age standpoint, they could still go.
Yeah, why not? And I agree, and I would love to see that. Both of them, we're at the point now where people from, I've been thinking about this a lot. So like, think of like your favorite bands and, you know, movies and filmmakers from when we were kids. I've gotten really recently back into Kings of Leon, who I knew from 2008 for
dude.
having 2 songs that were wildly popular, and then everyone just got completely burnt out by them. I rediscovered them a few years ago. Their later catalog is just so appealing to me. I've been to a few shows from them. These shows are sold out with these like ravenous fans, and I'm going, I never knew they were this popular. And then I realized, oh, like we're older now and a lot of us have money. Like I didn't have any money when they were popular when I was 20. Like I couldn't go to like their shows really. And what I'm saying is the cultural interest in, you know, music when we were younger or directors when we were younger, they're back. I'm going to spoil my what are you watching recommendation because it perfectly fits here. Sam Raimi just directed a brand new horror movie, Send Help, that is an exact return to form that we want from Sam Raimi. The movie fucking rules. I want someone to do the Send Help treatment with Carpenter. Do it. Like Send Help is not the biggest movie Sam Raimi directed. He directed 3 Spider-Man movies. It's not as big as that Oz movie that I never watched, but it's like good. No more Oz stuff. Like get back to doing a horror movie. And I would love for Carpenter to do that. And there has to be some producer out there with a decent amount of money who's our age who understands the value of this, that a lot of people would go see this. Send Help is a hit. People love it. It's making money.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've actually I was going to see that last night, and then I had work to do. But I'm excited to see that. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm happy for everyone involved in that.
Yeah. I'm too. And we'll talk about that toward the end. But yeah, that's, you know, Carpenter hasn't made a movie since The Ward, I think in 2010. But oh well, he's still active, makes music, does stuff. Halloween. There's 13 films. The first franchise is Halloween 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. This is, you know, Halloween 2 takes place directly after 1. Laurie's in the hospital. Laurie and Michael are only about in half of that movie. The rest is supporting characters. Halloween 3 is its own thing, Season of the Witch. And I had only seen that once in my whole life. Really did not have a relationship with it. That movie rules. Like that movie's really, really fun and gnarly. The kills in it are there's some crazy kills in Halloween 2, but there's some wild stuff in Halloween 3. It just has nothing to do with Michael Myers, but it's still fun.
It's nothing at all.
It's still fun.
I remember being a kid because I was obsessed with this franchise as a kid. I would give myself nightmares, but I would just love to be watching Halloween 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
And I had an adamant relationship against 3 because I knew it wasn't having anything to do with
so
it.
Did
I was so pissed.
Same here.
As a kid, I was like, fuck that movie. Nothing to do with anything. Why would they even do it? Why would they even do it? And I remember I watched it and like really begrudgingly like stood on my ground and decided to like still like, you know, dig my feet in the sand and be like, no, this movie sucks. And then I saw it like when I was like a teenager and I was like, actually, this movie's kind of fun.
It is. I mean, you're going to hear the same song like over and over and over because that's a recurring theme. But like the main character watches Halloween at one point, like on a TV. So it's that type of thing. But as its own movie, like it's still really good. But the producers didn't like that. So they wanted, you know, can we continue the Michael Myers story? 4 and 5 are a lot of fun because they're kind of like Halloween 1 and 2. Yeah, this is when you meet young Jamie Lloyd, Danielle Harris, who is like fantastic as Laurie Strode's daughter.
Yeah.
She is such a believable child actress in a scary movie. And I like 4 a lot. 4 is Return of Michael Myers. 5 is Revenge of Michael Myers. 5 definitely gets sillier. That's the one where there's like, when the cops walk, there's these clown noises. It really didn't seem like the director he was doing his own thing, and they're like, all right, okay. I think he's French. I might explain some things. And then I know you like Halloween 6, but I would implore you to rewatch it because there are 2 versions of it. The theatrical cut is just a disaster that makes no sense. The ending is baffling. That's the one you like, but
Yeah.
I mean, in the end of that one, they stab him with like this green juice, like we're in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. I'm going, what is this? It's really bad.
I'm not saying that it was good. I'm just saying that I think I enjoyed. I think it was probably at the time where I had known Paul Rudd from Clueless, and because I definitely didn't see it in 1996. I think I like seen it like a few years later, and I thought I just unearthed this like gem of like, oh my God, nobody even knows this about Paul Rudd. Nobody knows that Paul Rudd stood toe to toe with Michael Myers and survived. Like nobody knows this. So I thought like I didn't even know that they made the movie. So I was like, here's like this secret in the movie world that nobody knows about. There's another Halloween movie. And I didn't look any of this up. This is all just my imagination running wild. But I remember liking it for that reason. So I'm sure if I watched it now, I'd be like, man, this is a real piece of shit.
Yeah. The coolest thing about it is that there was this leaked producer's cut. It was very raw. It like went around the internet for a while. And they, the powers that be put that on this disc, and this is not an official cut, and it's way better. Like I like it a lot more. Still not that good of a movie though. But I commented on all those in our New Hollywood Film Project episode, and then I said I got to get to the back half now. So that was, July for the rest of the year. Made my way to franchise timeline 2. This is Halloween 1, 2, Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection. So H2O is my jam. I was raised on this. It was released in 1998. It felt exactly like Scream, partly because they threw out the original score and just literally used the score from the first Scream in Halloween H2O. So I'm like, this reminds me of Scream. And, in this one, it's 20 years later. Laurie's changed. Yeah, Laurie's changed her identity. They, for some reason, completely get rid of the Jamie Lloyd thing. And they're like, no, we're not doing that now. She had a son. It's Josh Hartnett, his first movie. I love him in it. Kept messing up his hair intentionally just to like fuck with producers and stuff. That I have said this in an earlier episode, but probably the craziest fact I learned about any Halloween in 2025 was that H2O and Halloween Resurrection were planned at the same time. So when they filmed H2O, they knew how they were going to begin Halloween Resurrection, which is
so weird.
Very, very weird to me. It sounds like Jamie Lee was like, all right, I'll do this because I know H2O just standing as its own film will be awesome with that ending. And it is. But, a few years later, they completely destroy that. And this actually is a hard thing to say. What's the worst Halloween movie? It's Halloween Resurrection. This movie's dog shit. This movie sucks. This movie immediately ruins the brilliant goodwill of Halloween H2O, which I get it. The producer said you can never officially kill Michael Myers, but it's just a great like trick at the end of H2O. And the way he comes back in Resurrection, and it's really weird because Resurrection is directed by Rick Rosenthal, who directed Halloween 2. Like he's connected to this franchise, but it is, man, you want to talk about movies that aged. Halloween Resurrection is more dated than Halloween because it cements itself with all this technology, live webcams in 2002. Like what? And we're streaming it to the internet. Like I was using dial-up internet in 2002. What are you talking? Like the streaming is as good as it is now. I'm like, huh? There's this one scene where they are cross-cutting. In my opinion, a pretty nice homage to one of the first slashers ever made, Peeping Tom, where the killer is a cinematographer and he like kills a woman with the leg of his tripod because he has a knife to it and he films it. So they recreate that kill in Halloween Resurrection, but they cross-cut it with Tyra Banks making some like ridiculous mochaccino latte coffee thing and like dancing around in the kitchen, and she doesn't hear the murder that's like in the other room. And then on the commentary, Rick Rosenthal doesn't even mention Peeping Tom. He just talks about the coffee. And he's like, I thought it'd be funny to intercut like her making coffee with a killing. And I'm going, what? Like this doesn't the what? Like so it oh my god. It's a really, really bad movie. Of course, the Busta Rhymes, trick or treat
Uh-huh.
motherfucker is immortal, but wow, it's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible film. Ugh.
I've only remember seeing it once, and really I think I actually turned it off because I watched it
Mhm.
on TV. I think because I knew what had happened, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, they ruined the ending of the other one, so I don't really want to see it. So I saw the beginning where essentially Jamie Lee gets killed,
Yeah, in the first 20 minutes.
and I was thinking to myself, but he was decapitated.
Yeah.
Like, so correct me, I'm sure they didn't, but did they give any sort of justification for
Oh
how he
yeah.
got his head back? They
Oh,
do.
right in the beginning. It's that he pulled a little loop-de-loop there, a little trick. Apparently, at the end of H2O, we don't see it in the movie, but Michael kills a paramedic, puts on the paramedic's attire, or puts his outfit on the paramedic, and that is who is loaded into the van. And because his throat is smashed, I believe he can't talk. So when Jamie Lee Laurie is like, Michael, Michael, and chops his head off, she accidentally chopped the head off of a paramedic, and Michael's still out there running around. It's very dumb and doesn't actually make sense if you watch H2O, because he could
I
be
was,
doing stuff with his hands like, no, no, no. And
yeah.
you, even if your throat is cut, you can still like make noise. And I mean, I believe his hands are free and he could have taken off his mask. So it's just,
Okay, yeah, so they fucked that.
but again, for them to have conceived this before they even filmed H2O it's really dumb. It's not unlike Alien 3, like killing Newt in the first
Yeah,
scene, and you're like, wait, what? And
yeah.
it's that type of thing. But yeah, not a good movie. I cannot recommend it at all. But I do love H2O. H2O is a banger.
Michelle Williams
I love her in
back in
it.
her
Yeah, Hartnett. Yeah,
Dawson's Creek days.
damn right. She was great. Still great. Ah, I love her.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, he gets iced in the first scene. It's a great kill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gets a little trouble with the stick.
Yes, he does. You got the nurse from the first one. That's who Joseph Gordon-Levitt is going. She's going into his house to kind of explore it. You got Janet Leigh, Jamie Lee Curtis's mother, showing up for a cameo and then driving off in the same car she drives in Psycho. Like there's shit like that, and it's great. This is what I mean. Like that director adds in a Marion Crane, Janet Leigh Psycho reference, and it's like they even start playing the theme to Psycho as she drives away. Resurrection does this kind of cool peeping Tom thing, never even really hinted at. It's like, what? I don't know if they even know what they were doing, or like, was it someone's like, oh yeah, that's cool. Has that ever been done in a movie before? It's so stupid.
I think I saw it somewhere.
Yeah. The third franchise, people are divided on this one. This is Rob Zombie with Halloween in 2007 and Halloween 2 in 2009. I did not know this before I researched these videos. I was never the biggest fan of these. He hated making these because the Weinstein brothers ruined his life making them. Like he
Wow.
detested, he had no control. And I thought these were like Rob Zombie movies that he put his stamp on and like, these are my movies. No, he hated it. He had a 3-picture deal with the Weinsteins, had such a bad time making Halloween that he goes, I want out of my deal. And they're like, we'll sue you. And he goes, all right, I'll make you a deal. I'll do a sequel. I'll do Halloween 2, but then you have to let me out of my third movie. And they said, deal. So he's like the
Oh my
only
God.
director in history that has negotiated lower movies in their deal, like negotiated themselves out. My first inkling of this was actually listening to the commentary for Halloween 2. Very rarely are directors this down on their own movie. And like 10 minutes in, Zombie is just pointing out every flaw. At one point, I'm serious, like 10 minutes in, he goes, yeah, the sound team didn't know what they were doing here, so we had to loop all this later. We didn't have any sound for the scene. And it's like a huge sequence. So he's just talking shit about the crew, talking shit about the producers. And I mean, he is like over it. I honestly think you feel that when you watch these movies. I don't think these movies are that good. I think the second one is like batshit and not really coherent. The first one, of course, like the first hour is the backstory. That's the most original thing he brought to this. He gave Michael Myers a backstory, but then the last hour of his Halloween from 2007 is just a remake of Carpenter's movie. It fits Carpenter's movie into an hour block. Some of the same shots, some of the same lines of dialogue, and I don't know. It's fine, but some people are really, really high on these. Some people love them. Friend of the pod, Igor, that these are probably his favorite of the whole Halloween franchise, other than the first one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he loves just the crassness of Rob Zombie's characters. And I mean, there are there are sexual assaults in the first one that are just really hard to watch, and you're like, oh my god, I don't know. It's really hardcore. They're Rob Zombie movies, but knowing that he had a horrible time making them at the hands of the Weinstein brothers, again, I just think that you see that on the screen. But again, if you're a fan of director's commentaries like I am, his Halloween 2, he's holding nothing back. He is mad.
Wow. I did not know that. That's
I didn't either.
And and that goes to show you, like, when you don't have good collaboration, because Rob Zombie is a guy, like, whether you like his stuff or you don't, there's a guy with his own vision.
Yeah.
He's got his own style. He's got his own taste. It is crass, but it's also, like, you look at any of those movies that he's directed, and you like, I don't know. I think it's a cool thing for a director to be able to have that kind of a stamp on their own work, especially from a guy that's not really a director. He's he's a musician, coming in here, but definitely in his own artist. And then you get these people with money, where it's sort of like, it just makes sense to me, where if you have an idea, you're like, all right, we're gonna reboot Halloween. Who's going to do it? We got Rob Zombie. Oh, we got a guy that's got his own entire vision, his own entire style. Let's just let him run. Let him fucking go with this. Because I guarantee you that no matter what he made, the money will be there.
Exactly.
People will go, like, Rob Zombie could have on his own made a piece of shit, and it would have made money because people would have been excited for the Halloween reboot, and they would have been excited to see Rob Zombie's take on it. So why get in the way? Why interfere?
I mean, you answer that question. Yeah, a lot of people have that questions about those dipshit brothers. I saw him, I believe it was like a clip on Howie Mandel's podcast of all places, but he said, here's just an example of what they did. The whole time I was making Halloween, they're telling me every day, this is the worst footage we've ever seen. They're watching the daily saying, this sucks. You don't know what you're doing. You're terrible. Recut this, reshoot this. And then on Halloween 2, they're looking at the footage and saying, this is the worst footage we've ever seen. Go look at your first movie, the first Halloween. That footage is perfect. So it's this constant, like, you can't win. It'd be like making a movie with a drill sergeant. You're like, but you just told me it was bad and now it's good. Like, what? So I just can't imagine that. And yeah, like, Rob's maybe not my favorite director, whatever. I will always admit that dude has a stamp. He has a style that is his own. And I like him as a person. He's like a cool guy, and works with his wife. Like, I like him. And so, just let him do his own thing. It sucks that he didn't get to, hey, there's another thing. Maybe he should come back and do it. Like, do it again, man. Why not? Weinsteins are out.
I was like, I don't think you saw it the first time.
Going more hardcore. I joke, but that brings us to franchise 4, where, there had been a gap in movies. The last one was 2009, and franchise 4 is Halloween 1 from 1978. And we jump all the way to Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. These 3 movies were conceived by David Gordon Green and his writing team, Danny McBride, as well. My ultimate thought on this franchise is that I'm glad that someone got to try to do it. And the Halloween Ends from 2022 is not going to be the last Halloween movie of our lifetimes. It could be next year that, like, some director, John Carpenter, Rob Zombie, who knows, is going to have, another one. Will they restart the whole thing like Zombie did, or will they tag it on to the first one like David Gordon Green did? 2018 Halloween, I'm going, okay, they brought Jamie Lee back. Like, this is cool. I dig this. I like her living in the woods and stuff. The stuff with the teenagers isn't as compelling to me. Halloween Kills is completely batshit, and it feels like a kind of a follow-up to Halloween 2, where Laurie's in the hospital, and then there's, like, this group going out going to try to, like, kill Michael Myers. Evil dies tonight. They say it like a gazillion times in Halloween Kills. A lot of people don't like that one because it just gets crazy, and there's this. Now we're into, like, they shoot, stab, punch, like, they kill him a million different ways and he's just still going. And you're like, all right. And then Halloween Ends is absolutely bonkers. I think I can safely say this is the most hated Halloween movie on Reddit. There's a thriving Reddit Halloween community on Reddit. They hate this movie. And this one, I mean, it's pretty wild. They introduce a brand new main character awesome opening that has really nothing to do with like Michael Myers, but it kind of feels like Halloween 4 and 5, where like the Michael Myers is passing his, I don't know, spirit or his powers on to someone new. And it's kind of dumb.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people don't like that, but it's cool that he got to do it. But I'm never going to call those my favorite, Halloween movies. I'm more drawn to that original core franchise.
All right, so let me ask you.
All right.
After seeing everything as much as you have, and then understanding that this lore of Michael Myers has been going on since 1978, what do you think is the thing about Michael Myers that has lasted this long, even through all these iterations, through all these different things? Because exactly what you said, if there is another Halloween movie made, the interest will be there.
Yeah.
And we have had all sorts of big slasher villains that, I mean, I think if you really kind of get into it, you could probably say the same thing about a Friday the 13th reboot, Nightmare on Elm Street. They've tried these things.
They have.
Good or bad, none of them took off.
No.
Halloween has had these failed rebooted franchises, and it's still a thing. So what would you think now, being the kind of scholar that you are in this field, what do you think it is about Michael Myers that makes people they'll still pay to be scared by this idea?
Yeah, this is another great question. Look at you, you're on fire this afternoon, morning.
So that's why they pay me the big bucks.
Yeah, exactly. I think because, you got to kind of compare it to the other ones that have started. So those ones, Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th, they held on to the original concept, I think, for too long. Like Jason, Friday, that goes till, they never break from like all being connected. That goes to like 10 movies. Nightmare on Elm Street goes to not 10, but it gets to a lot until you get to Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is a really trippy movie, but then they kind of reinvent. This one, throughout the decades, when I was watching them, they always tried to mirror themselves to scary movies of the time. So like 1978, this is the first big slasher movie, and then they take off and they become kind of crazy. Friday the 13th, which is like a remake of Halloween, is released in 1980. So then Halloween 2 is much gorier and feels more like an 80s slasher. Then when we get to Halloween 4, 5, and 6, those start to feel like the types of slashers we grew up with. Where like they're kind of gory, but like even the film stock just looks like that late 80s, early 90s stuff that we grew up where sometimes they'll push it really hard, sometimes they won't. H2O, as mentioned, kind of feels like Scream, and I love Scream, and so it feels like, okay, we get it, like we're going to put more youth into it, not like little kids, we're going to put a Dawson's Creek star in it, we're going to put these heartthrobs in it. And then Resurrection is an absolute write-off. But again, you give it to Rob Zombie, who's making his aesthetic way more grungy and raw, which was popular at the time. It looks more like a Saw movie, which had come out a few years before. And then we moved to David Gordon Green, where it's just like polished, what do they call this? Like elevated horror, where we're like thinking and the teenagers are really smart and everyone, the teenagers know just kind of the late 2010s, early 2020s horror. So to me, it seemed like a franchise that's been able to evolve as the times have changed to varying degrees. Not always, but these movies make money. I mean, the 4, 5, and 6 didn't really, but they made money. And in 2 years, in 2028, that will be the 50th anniversary of Halloween. I don't know if that's not enough time to put a movie in development, but can't you see, like, Jason Blum did, the David Gordon Green ones, but someone going, hey, let's do a Halloween remake and do it on the 50th anniversary. We'll release it Halloween 2028. I mean, they could put that into production now and it would come out and be a hit.
Yeah.
They could. It's definitely a franchise, I think, with the most legs, like a horror franchise with the most legs.
Oh, yeah.
There's something for everyone in it. Like, no one, I don't think, is going to like every single movie in it. But again, some people love the zombie movies. And even though they're not as much for me, I love H2O, even though that may not be as much for me. So there's always something to like latch onto. Some people like Halloween 2 more than Halloween. Some people fucking love Halloween 2. It's just cool.
Halloween 2, I like Halloween 2.
I do as well. You get a lot of fun discourse that goes around with the franchise. And it helps that Halloween is a much better movie than the first Friday the 13th. It's a much better movie than the first Nightmare on Elm Street to me. And there's no way I could watch the original Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street once a week every year. They're just, they're goofy and sloppy on purpose, some of the slasher stuff. But yeah, I don't think I could do that. So that helps too. It starts with a grade A masterpiece movie.
I've always thought that there's something very scary about the idea. It's why the scene in the first Terminator is to me, one of the most terrifying scenes ever. Laurie's in the hospital, a place where you should be safe.
Yep.
I mean, maybe not from germs, but the idea is it's a very, very well guarded. There's probably security. There's a lot of people. And yet, that safety is completely violated by Michael Myers. So Terminator, when he's in the police station, he's just so anytime you can just take the safety out of what we consider that, I always find that to be one of the scariest things you could do. And so that's why I liked Halloween 2, is because I was like, wow, he's just fucking people up in this hospital.
Just, no remorse. No remorse. All right, I'm going to rank them. It gets a little crazy because they have weird titles and stuff. And, this is just, I'm going to go bottom to top.
I feel like I know what your top 3 would be.
Well, we'll see, won't we? All right, number 13, Halloween 8, Halloween Resurrection, made in 2002. It's terrible. Number 12, Halloween 10, which is Halloween 2, released in 2009, directed by Rob Zombie.
The Rob Zombie one.
Number 11, Halloween 13. That's David Gordon Green's last one. Halloween Ends. I don't like those 3 movies. Number 10, your beloved Halloween 6. Buried at number 10.
Oh, man. At least made the top 10.
Yeah, it did. Number 9 is Halloween Kills, directed by David Gordon Green. That was the 12th entry in the Halloween franchise. Number 8, Halloween 5.
Oh.
Number 9, number 7, Rob Zombie's first Halloween. That was a 9th entry in the franchise. All right. Number 6, the 11th Halloween, David Gordon Green's first one. So now we got top 5. 5 is Halloween 4. 4 is Halloween 2.
Oh,
3,
come on.
3 is Halloween 3.
Oh, you're
2
crazy.
is Halloween H2O. And 1 is Halloween. Putting the third one on the list is tough because it has nothing to do with Michael Myers. So I'm kind of having fun with it. But that is if you just want a slasher movie about people getting murdered, you don't really know why. There's some weird cult shit going on. There's a song that plays over and over that turns people into killers. It's just a really fun slasher movie, noting that it doesn't have anything to do with Michael Myers. But in the Michael Myers lore franchise, Halloween 2, Halloween H2O, and Halloween are my top 3.
I mean, you're just, for a guy that spent his whole entire year, you're just wrong.
About what?
You're just Halloween 2 is below.
H2O is always going to be number 2. I fucking love H2O. Yeah. H2O is always going to be number 2. I knew you'd be a little concerned with that pick.
I respect it. I mean, good. Feelings aren't hurt, not really.
2026 movie challenge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is fun.
This is one I wish I had the testicular fortitude to be able to to join you on this one, because this is one that I think this is worth anybody doing.
Yeah,
this is a great movie challenge.
I'm already in it, and it's already a lot of fun so far. I'm calling it Criterion 26. I tried this in 2022. We even recorded an episode in January of 2022, called it Criterion 2022. The plan was for me to watch at least one new to me Criterion film every week and then pod about it. The problem was I realized I'm just going to be podding about Criterion films. There's so many. And so I abandoned the notion of doing individual episodes about them. But for 2026, I've made a private list of 100 Criterion Collection films that I have not seen. I put that on Letterboxd. And I just pick a random movie. That's what I've done so far. Actually, I'm kind of letting society pick my choices for me, because I was watching Lux Eterna, Gaspar Noé's brilliant Lux Eterna. And in the very beginning of that, there are shots of Benjamin Christensen's Haxan and Carl Dreyer's Day of Wrath. So I went, those are coincidentally on my list. So those are going to be my first two. They were great. I've watched so far. I've watched The Unknown by Todd Browning. It's about a circus group, and this one guy pretends like he doesn't have arms so he can like get close to a lady in the circus. But then he goes, if she figures out I have arms, she won't love me. So he considers having his arms actually surgically removed so that she'll love him. It's awesome. It's fantastic.
Wow.
Haxon is like a semi-documentary about witchcraft. Day of Wrath is about burning witches at the stake. There's a terrifying sequence in Lux Eterna of them like throwing an old woman into a fire, and that's from Day of Wrath. It was nuts. I've watched two others. Mouchette, directed by Robert Bresson, an 81-minute French drama about a poor little girl who is picked on, abused, and contemplates suicide. It's French. and then Overlord, a cool like half narrative, half archival footage movie from the UK about D-Day, and it was released in 1975, and you can't really tell like the 1975 footage versus the archival footage. So it's a really cool kind of abstract thing, but that's what I'm doing. My list of 100, most of them are not in English. Most of them are older movies, so I have a lot of subtitle reading to do this year, but I am very excited, and I'm really looking forward to it. Like I plan out which one I'm going to watch, and if there's a commentary for it, I'm watching those too. So I've already logged 10 of them.
This is going to probably be like, for someone like you that has such a wealth of film knowledge already up until this point. This year alone, you're looking at 365 world cinema that is going to be coming your way that you, and I'm sure I know you, a lot of them you'll probably just randomly pick.
I did.
Because,
a lot of them, honestly, I picked because I've always liked the cover art, and I've always wanted to see that. And I look and I'm like, where's it from? And, I very intentionally tried to do one from like each country. I mean, I'm doing a lot of different countries. I'm not just watching like UK and American criterions that I haven't seen. I'm going all over, and I'm having a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, so this is really just going to expand your whole entire not just knowledge, but just I think you'll probably unearth some things that you'll have no idea and be like, "What the hell is this? And how is nobody even talking about this?" That's awesome. Yeah, I really dig this.
Well, I was going to say I'm not going to do individual episodes, but I'll probably mention them in some what are you watching recommendations. Yeah.
I was going to say we should check in at the 6-month mark, and then you give like your top 10 for half the year of recommendations. So like after like a half a year of seeing these movies that I just found them, they're all on here, and these are the best of the best.
Yeah, that's a good idea. My favorite ones so far were The Unknown, which is really short, and Day of Wrath, which is really short. And I mean, I cannot recommend the Criterion Channel app enough because I am absolutely and unabashedly obsessed with the art form of film, and there are hundreds of movies on there I have never even heard of, and that is why I'm doing this challenge.
If you let's just shout out to Criterion Channel right here, because I gotta say they knocked it out of the park, and I feel like it doesn't ever get talked about enough because not only is it the revolving door of movies that they have on there, and they actually do a great job of letting you know when things are going to leave and when things are coming back, so you can actually log in. You're like, oh shit, here they send you emails about it, so it's like if they know if you're like trying to get certain ones. There's a few of them that they're just going to keep on there forever. Like those are your Criterion the DVD copies with all the special features. Those are pretty much like locked in. But then you just get all of these movies, and these are like the TCM movies that would come on. Oh yeah. And then they break down for you in like these really cool sections of themes. And this actually helps my mom and my stepdad watch movies because they talk to me about how they're overwhelmed in this oversaturated market, as we all are. Of course, you go on to Netflix, and most people will spend their entire evening searching for a movie as opposed to watching one. What Criterion does is they make it like you don't realize it's almost like a subconscious like ADHD thing where if you just could take 5 movies and you kind of give them a weird sort of theme, like here's your dystopian noir,
Yeah, like noir city or
yeah,
something. Yeah, wartime noir.
Yeah, and
yeah.
all of a sudden your mind is like, I could dig watching something like that. So now your mind has got a set of things that it's already appealed to. Like, ooh, I like that idea. What do they have there? And when you only have 5 movies to pick from as opposed to hundreds, you lock in, and then you're like, there you go. And then not to mention the interviews. And so all I'm saying is this is a big, we're not even getting plugged for this, but just for any moviegoer out there that listens to us, for you mad movie buffs out there, highly cannot recommend you getting the Criterion channel. It's only $9.99 a month. They have not changed their price since they've been around, which is crazy. And
it's awesome.
And it's just it's endless and it's awesome.
It is without question my favorite movie app, because you get the Criterion movies, but then they also get just a bunch of stuff that they've licensed that aren't necessarily Criterion, so you get a good mix. But then, as you've stated, it is the only app that I'm aware of that has special features. It's the only app. That's how I'm able to watch these commentaries, because I can watch Overlord, and then the next day watch it with the director's commentary straight from the app. They have they put up all their special features, and it is if you are into movies and you love movies, then you just have to have that app. It's the anti-Netflix. It has so much gold in it. But yeah, so I'm very excited to fully explore that. I mean, and then they have these things. It's like directed by Akira Kurosawa. You click on it, 30 of his movies are just right there. Yep. And you're like, holy shit, that is how I knocked out every Kurosawa. Last year is when I finished, but it was just going through in order. All right, here's the next one. Play. Next one. Play.
Yeah. Bergman.
So that's my challenge. Bergman, they got them all. Yep. I mean, damn near. They have enough for you to be satisfied.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Criterion 26. I'm excited. Yeah, I will. I'll report back and be like, this one I really loved. Check it out. And that was Halloween 2025. Done. I will report back when I watch that movie again.
Yeah.
Probably won't be for a while.
Yeah. Take a break. You've earned it, kid.
I have to. Yeah. You earned it, kid. And we'll move to what are you watching? It sounds like we're going to have some kind of tandem recommendations here.
Oh, yeah.
I already spoiled mine. I'll go first. Send Help. Solid Friday night. Packed crowd at Alamo. Absolute blast. Starring Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. The movie's fucked up. I really dug it. It's rated R. It's fun as hell. If you like Sam Raimi, you like the Evil Dead movies, Drag Me to Hell. It's big, loud, and fun. And for my money, a perfect way to spend 2 hours on a Friday with a big crowd.
And that's exactly what I was hoping that it would be. I saw the trailer for it and I was like, all right, this is either Sam Raimi going back to being Sam Raimi, or this is going to be something that I don't even know what people would be wanting, but studios make. And so I'm so glad to hear that this is a bit of a return to form. So happy for Rachel McAdams. It's good to see her getting a big role like this again.
She's just always great. And I think she's even playing into the Hollywood is not treating me with the value I deserve. And that's kind of her character. I don't know. There's
stuff there.
It's very good casting. She's amazing. And this Dylan O'Brien guy, I like this guy. You recommended, I hadn't remembered seeing him in a movie. You recommended a movie, Twinless, to me. Hulu put it up. I watched it. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was very impressed. I thought he was fantastic. And one of his twins only basically has like a scene or two in. But you recommended this one to me, but Twinless released last year, but it's on Hulu. I really liked it.
This is my what are you watching recommendation.
Yeah.
This is we had just concluded our top 10 of 2025.
Yep.
And this one didn't make my list, but because I had seen it the night before we recorded. Couldn't really get it out of my mind. And I was thinking about it so much that when we were done with the pod, I was telling you about it, and I still can't really get it out in a good way.
Me either.
Yes. We were talking a lot about how we even put it both in our top 10s of the movie Lurker. I would absolutely put this movie into this category for 2025 of what indie film should be nowadays.
That's a great double feature. Twinless and Lurker would be a really good double feature.
These are movies that they've got something to say, And they're going about it in artful ways that are against, I would assume to say that they're against what everyone else would probably do.
Yeah.
And they're not like Lurker and Twinless are not like these super rebellious. They're not like they're
Mm-mm.
not anything like that. They're just a little weird, and they're taking some chances, and they're making some interesting choices, and but they're all intentional, and they all work for what they are. And yeah, my only thing with Twinless, now that I was thinking about it, I was like, I feel like this movie, there's just so much more in it. Like there's such a heavier weight to all of this that can it really be can it be quantified in just a 1 hour and like 40-minute mark? And then I'm thinking about it and I go, I don't know how you do it any different. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of those things where sometimes you can kind of pick apart a movie and be like, well, it could be better if they did this, this, or this. And then I'm like racking my brain and I'm like, I don't think you could. I think they fucking did it. And so I really enjoyed it. Recommend it. It is on Hulu. Dylan O'Brien. He's apparently, I was looking up his filmography. He's been doing this for a bit.
Yeah, he was in just some movies that I don't really watch, like was it like Maze Runner or
Yeah,
something like that? I think he was in those. I didn't see those. Deepwater Horizon, like I saw that, but I don't remember him from it. But I think he was the star, one of the stars of Maze Runner, and that's how he
and
kind of took off.
that's how he took
I
off.
am just becoming aware of him now, and he is fantastic in Send Help and really good in Twinless. And
Really liked him.
I didn't know much about it. I had seen the poster, which is like, pastel, and you see two guys smiling. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is going to be like a light kind of gay romance. I had no idea what it's about. It is not that.
No.
There are the implications of what the characters are doing in it is very disturbing at some point. We definitely get into stalking, obsession. Like it kept fooling me, and I never was able to predict where it goes.
Yeah.
And Dylan O'Brien, his character meets this guy played by James Sweeney, and I'm watching this guy going, man, he is so effective playing this role. He is creeping me out so much. I don't ever want to like see this guy again. Like, I mean this, I'm joking, but I mean it as a compliment.
From the character.
I'm like, yeah, the character. I'm like, who the hell is this? And then the movie ends and it says written and directed by James Sweeney.
Yeah.
And I went, what the fuck? He wrote and directed this, like, and played this really convincing role. So I absolutely would have mentioned it as an honorable mention or a, hey, please go check this out.
Yeah.
Had I seen it in the 2025 episode, but hey, we're saying it now. Like I was very impressed with it. I was very impressed.
I mean, when you look at like, just like that triple like list of these indie movies of Sorry Baby, Lurker, and Twinless. I mean, these are all up for the Spirit Awards. So everyone, make sure you check that out to kind of like check out these movies, but also kind of like, I'm hoping, this is a wishful thinking, but I'm really kind of hoping that maybe with this batch of movies that are being recognized by the Indie Spirit Awards, like we do start to kind of really form what was formed in the 90s, which was like this. Here's your big budget movies. This is what's going on. The 80s brought all that in. And then there is going to be a reserved area for these movies where if you want an alternative to what is being shoved down your throat in the movie theaters, but it's not a TV show, it's not this. These are independent movies, and this is there's now space for them. This is what I'm kind of hoping happens, because we have not had that space in I don't even know how long. I think probably since the early 2000s when Focus Features was the prominent like indie kind of thing. But then that took off to be kind of prestige. I'm hoping, and then there's not really a studio that's doing this, but I mean, these are definitely movies that are being championed that do not have very big budgets. And there's filmmakers out there like Eva Victor, James Sweeney, that are kind of coming around and being like, all right, we got stuff to say.
Yeah, I love that. It's not even mid-budget. They're like these lower budget personal stories. We're seeing writer directors because Eva Victor wrote and directed and starred in Sorry Baby. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You just popped up on HBO Max. I'd kind of put that here too. My dad watched it. He called me and goes, Rose Byrne, it was amazing in that. I don't know how I feel about the movie. And I went, I know. It's intense, but yeah, I've always wanted room to be made for these, things. These are the movies that I am much more drawn to. in general, you can always give
Yeah.
me a one battle, always.
Well, yeah.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Yeah, that's about it for me. This is gonna come out soon, and then next episode will likely be Oscar narratives, all that stuff. If you're watching Oscar movies, a word of warning, watch the nominated documentary shorts and documentary features with extreme caution. Some of these are on Netflix, HBO, and wow, I watch them and they're not holding anything back. Like, these are hardcore, and there are some images that have burned into my head that are not pleasant. So just watch them with extreme caution. If you've seen some of them, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, Oscars. I have no idea what's going to happen with a lot of the categories. I have no idea.
I know. There's a lot of stuff
man.
going on.
It's kind of fun. It's nerve wracking, but I'm definitely feeling some split ballot, one battle versus Sinners. But hey, it's coming up soon.
I think the whole night is going to be this. I think it's
I
just
do
going to
too.
be a down the line between the two of these.
Thank God for K-pop Demon Hunters, because it's going to take best song from Sinners. I'm rooting for it. I'm rooting for anything to steal awards away. No, I'm kidding. God, my wife is obsessed with K-pop Demon Hunters. Wow, we watch it. It's popular and catchy.
It's
It's real popular.
I'm waiting for an animated movie to come around for you where you're like, Nick, stop what you're doing and go and see this.
Oh yeah, that'll happen never. But yeah, we'll wait. I already made it. It's called Cinderella, released in 1950. Classic.
Jesus Christ.
All right, everyone. That was Halloween once a week. I'm really excited for Criterion 26. Very excited for future Oscar discussion. Let us know what you're watching, what Criterions you're exploring on the Criterion channel. If you see Send Help or Twinless, I do want to know. Let us know at WAYW_podcast. But as always, thanks for listening and happy watching.